So much danger. Underestimating my woman, not taking her out. Working too hard and now she's going up with a stranger. Someone I don't even know. I should have taken her out every once in a while. Give it together from the bed to start. Show her a life that's all worthwhile. Now I guess I gotta walk an extra mile. I can beat myself. Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. I can beat myself. Oh yeah. Yeah. Try not to find out there in the crowd. When my friends all ask me where is your woman? Long time I don't see. Now I've got to think fast, gotta use my head. Give a good story and make sure they buy my version of the situation. Although I don't wanna lie, I'm gonna do this once. See my reputation sinking in a distance. If they knew the truth that really existed, then my little sanity would be wasted. I could beat myself. Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. I could beat myself. Oh Lord. Ooh, I'm hurting bad. Ooh, I'm hurting. That I can turn you down. I've watched you all these years, holding your head up high, just wanting to be someone. When all the fellows around, they didn't pay you no mind. How could they not look twice? They must have been blind. But I could tell from the start you had love in your heart, and you wanted so much to let it go. Baby, come here. You needed the chance to show a little romance. Now the table is turned, they're letting you down. Baby, show it all. Show. We're about to go on, folks. Having some technical difficulties. I'm just checking. You hear me? Okay. Let me just double check. Let me just double check. Greetings, everyone. Having some technical difficulties. I wasn't hearing the other side. We're on live, and today, people, I'm so excited. I'm feeling the energies of my ancestors. I channeled my energy of my teenage. Having some technical. So at my teenage years, and my energy of college days. I channel all of these energies so I can present to you today a really, really, really good show, full with not just emotions like the normal emotion of love for the new era, love for everyone. That like we see the storm, we're in it, and I see people are getting informed. That is your surfboard, let's say, for those really wild waves. So I want to welcome everybody who's listening. And oh my God, like it is so awesome to be alive in this time. We're literally looking at the Armageddon of of, like, say, the corporate side of this field, this energy field, because we're in an energy, we're all energy, and things happen based on our actions, our reactions. Mostly we're doing reactions because we're not prepared. We're doing stuff, most of us, out of assumption. So that's why today the question is for this program is beliefs, facts, and reality. Are they facts? Are belief system facts? Because we're giving an assumption
And if we believe it, then that's what not the reality, the perceived reality is. Because everything is determined on our energies and our ability to be influenced and misinterpret things, right? So um, there's so much to talk about. Wow. The banking system, people. I mean, I knew it was down since 2008. I spoke about it on this program before. Since 2008, I realized a lot of things were not right. And they did mention it. They did put it, but it wasn't in the news a lot. It was just slightly there for interpretation that things are going back to normal. And a lot of us love normal, whatever that normal is for each person, because normal for me is enjoying life and at its fullest. No, regardless of what is thrown at me, I'm going to throw something back, but I'm going to make sure that I'm informed and that I'm aware of what the circumstances is, and I take full responsibility for it. So this has been the problem. Everybody wants to blame somebody else. And I first want to big up some people who's following me and who's been reacting to some of my stuff on Facebook and, in real life here when I meet them. So Alvin Smith L on Facebook, I want to big you up, much love, brother. Ednade Bay, I want to big you up because I know you follow me a lot. And when I say, I shouldn't even use the term follow me. I see that you appreciate what I bring and you respond to me. So I want to give you thanks because we shouldn't be followers. We're all leaders. We all have our skills. And because I say that every time, I don't like the new term that's being used on the media network is creator. We are all co-creators. It says digital creator, right? So we're all creators. And once you know and you're confident of who you are, then we are equally sending messages of love unconditionally. No matter what your thoughts are, I can receive it in a certain way, dissect it, and then transmute it to whatever is going to be most beneficial to everyone, including myself first, because I have to put my boundaries and so do you, right? So everybody has that right. That's what's unconditional love and the right to just be, right? You have free will, right? So if we have free will, why are then people believing that, folks, I want to tell you, I have to stop here. I had to kind of disinfect the energy earlier on today, and then I got into the music, right? Into the music of, all the kings, the passing kings and the kings that are still here. That, oh my God, they're so beautiful, the music, especially in reggae and jazz and all of that. So those are godly stuff. God is found within, and that's basically the kingdom of God, and that's how you create, right? They created these beautiful music. I had to just mention that before I continue with what I was saying, right? So this is why I have this energy, folks. And I want to send you some loving energy. I have my incense going. I have my sage. I saged, the place to make sure that it's love and the energy of our ancestors always here. Nothing else can enter. I do not invite any darkness because we are all about light. And when we push our light out, there's no more room for darkness. As you can see, that's happening in real time. Oh my God, it's so exciting. Real time, the banks are going boop, 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 right? But that's happened since 2008. But people were not paying attention. I was in New York. I was on basically I was working at the YMCA, and now that I'm in such a higher level of understanding or overstanding of our consciousness, I now see all the connections. I was there, I was doing a stage at the YMCA as a program coordinator for the students that's coming from all over the world to work in the United States. It wasn't just in New York. So all across the United States, right? People were coming from Barbados, from Paraguay, all over the place. So now I understand why. Because each time you create a contract, those are contracts, right? And also there's human trafficking network stuff. It's all connected. So people come, they have to fill out certain forms. They're given, they have to do blood tests. They have to do all kinds of stuff. So imagine the database of that, okay? The YMCA programs. And I'm going to call their names because I know I'm confident or live life competence enough to administer, or what's the word? Govern my sovereign self, right? Because my awareness is at a level that actually I know all about the jurisdictions. I know all about the traps and the tricks that they use. And I can see it just by reading. I'm not talking just to say I've went through it. I've made mistakes. I have conquered. I walked through the shadow, whatever, right? I walked through it. Like yay. Right? I am the wrath, right? And trust me, that is true. I'll tell you about that another time. But the wrath of God, basically. So if we are to embrace the fact that we're all connected and we are all of the energy of what God is, which is pure magnetic energy. Attracting or deflecting, because I could tell you a lot of people that I've met throughout my life. I know there are certain energies that I don't stick around. So it's like a battery, right? The plus and the negative, right? So if we see everything like that, we'll have a better stand on how to handle each situation that comes to us. We have gut instincts. That's part of our higher being. Our higher being is telling us, look, doesn't smell right, doesn't feel right, doesn't look right. And all the eyes, like the third eye, the two eyes, and I, all of them, it don't look right. That's the message that's being sent, right? So, I want to play this song because I was feeling it. I was really, really feeling it. I hope you guys can hear it truly. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit. And I know you can't hear it yet. I'm trying to find it on the dial. Okay. Let's just start it here. And I'm rocking to this thing. Woo.
Twice, they must have been blind.
That's the mood, folks. Can you get into it?
You had love in your heart.
Love in my heart, folks. I have a big heart on my chest right now. I made this top, and I'm wearing a black blazer to represent the so-called judges, right? The ones that are in their fictitious courts. So, show me love, man. Woo!
Show them what you got, honey. Throw it all.
Woo! That's how I'm feeling, folks. I'm hot. Really, literally, I'm feeling the heat of this energy that's coming in. Woo! I feel so good.
I remember standing on the corner.
Woo!
With the brothers hanging out, and they stare at every woman.
Hey, brother, Happy New Year, everybody. This is the new year. Feel it. Feel that change in the air, that energy that's coming in.
But how could I tell the brothers? They laugh and say it's not true.
I love my brothers, people. I love everybody.
You names, I'm ashamed to repeat.
That's true. I went through all of that. But I'm confident today, folks. It's almost like if Barris is talking about me, people.
Oh, what a heat, baby. Show it all.
Woo.
Show them what you got now, honey. Throw it all. Bear them 'cause you're hot.
showing off. I'm really just feeling it, and I want to share it. That's what it's about. That's what life is about.
Didn't think you could do it.
They didn't think I could do
You look
it.
so well. The expression on their faces are guilty, you can tell. Now they're acting so friendly.
Whew.
Everyone wants to be near. It's either they don't remember or they just
I don't know if I
don't
got the
care.
artist wrong, but it's either
They
Barris or
used to
Leonard.
call you names. I'm ashamed to repeat.
Honestly, I'm not that. My party days was early when I was like 15, 16, 18. By the time I was 24, it was dying down. So,
Never say
and I'm in my 50s. So.
oh, what a heat, baby. Show it all.
Woo!
Show them what you got.
Okay,
Throw it
let me present now. Are we ready? Are we hot enough now? Are we hot, people? Are we hot enough? Huh? Are you feeling it? Wow. So I want to talk about the, let's say, the patent that they brought out. That well, it's not brought out. I think the patent was there from 2016. It's a patent that's, the number is, you can look it up, patent number 86979951, and it's all in all caps, African American, right? And it was patent under the section of meats and processed food, folks. Could you imagine that? So I never accepted those terms anyway. I don't know, for those people who are, proud to be African American, you are processed food. And then I started connecting again something, right? There's been a report, many reports, but I'm reading this. I think I took it from the Missing African American Women and Children in the United States of America. That's the NAACP, right? And it's talking about the topic, and also it's about bringing a criminal justice case against whoever. The people, all these disappearing, the FBI, CIA, nobody seems to be responding to this. But let someone who's a light, very light pale skin be missing for like a couple of hours. We hear the Amber Alert, we hear all these different things, right? So what is this about? So why are we not able to have a quick response like that, right? Because we are processed food. Well, not we, but it is patented as processed food. So again, we come to this thing. It says, let me read. It says, whereas the Black and Missing Foundation reported in 2010 that a total of 273,985 minorities were reported missing in the United States out of 692,944,000 for all races. Now, I can give you the meaning of race. There's only one race, right? There's only one race. Now, because, again, we're in this state of belief, this is why we suffer. We suffer for the lack of knowledge and the continuation of accepting whatever someone says we are, right? Without making our do. Yes, it started out of fear for us to say that we are the autochthonous or Indian or, whatever term back then was being used. It was out of fear of being sent to the coast. And I found I'm still looking for that document where I found was something, an order from the pilgrims that came here, that we be moved from the mainland of the Americas to the coast, to the islands, or to the edges of the coast or whatever. right? This is fact. I found it. I have to find it so I can read it, what it says. Okay? And I have to do it for another day, right? So if we are accepting that we are African American or black or whatever, because black is death, it's a color, it's a crayon color, whatever, right? So then we are not considered, just like they did said that we are cannibals and all of that. But the reverse is what we see. The reverse, the evidence shows that the individuals or people or societies that are doing this are the actual cannibals, right? So I'm not putting a color of race because, like I said, there's only one race. There is man, human, and mankind. You guys can look it up because I know a lot of people are saying that I'm confusing them. It's not me that's confusing you. It is the fact that you do not take the time to go and research some of the words. You need to research them for yourself so that it can go into your system and you have a better understanding, right? So please, I'm not trying to insult anyone. Please, because the things I'm saying because I have the documents written in front of me, or I have the source of where it comes from that I can say to you where to find it. But now everything is available online. So certain keywords, you can go and look it up. I gave you the patent number for African American, and you can look it up yourself. You can use also the Etymon online, right? And you can use the 1928 dictionary and the Black's Law Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary is also available free online, right? There's the 4th edition I usually use online, okay? Everything is available, right? I don't have money to buy all these books. I get stuff online. I find a lot of books online that shows all the truths. There's so many books online that has all the things that you can access for yourself. All right. So I'm so excited. Like I can't even handle the excitement right now. So yeah, the disappearing men and women converted to human trafficking / human meat, right? Is that what why it's put as why the African American is put as processed meat? Is it possible, right? Now listen to this. This is very interesting. I hope you can hear it. I have to put the volume up. Okay? So okay, what's going on?
So yeah, I know y'all not the true Jews, Mr. Finkelstein.
Okay.
I can't believe you're not locked up. Oh yeah.
Okay.
McDonald's meat factory. Yeah, you heard correct, in Oklahoma City. Health department inspectors have allegedly found human meat and horse meat in the freezer of a McDonald's meat factory, as well as they had recovered several trucks loaded with human and horse meat. And destination of these trucks was those fast food restaurants and hotels where we enjoy burgers and other fast food items, as per trusted sources. After inspecting factories and restaurants across the United States of America, Health Department has found human meat in 90% of all locations.
You gotta be kidding me.
Horse meat 65% of the locations. And now listen, a very bitter statement by FBI agent Lloyd Harrison told Hustler. He says, the worst part is that it's not only human meat, it's child meat.
You gotta be kidding me.
The body parts were found across the U.S. factories and were deemed too small to be adult body parts. We do not say to not use McDonald's fast food products made with meat. But on the other hand, McDonald, the customers want answers.
He went missing a year ago, and his parents still have no idea
Maybe
what
if you
happened
show
to
that
him.
picture up, you know, this really hit me, this story, because this young lad came home from school, took his jacket off, changed his clothes, went to the bank, withdrew £200 from his savings account. He's never been seen since. 14 years old. And you know, there's 100,000 children go missing a year under 16. 100,000.
You know, I know you know because I've heard it on your show before. I mean, we steal 100 to 300,000 children a year just here in this country.
What? All these kids coming up in this country missing, and you telling me that y'all steal kids?
And we drain the blood and we mix it with the Passover blood. And then we throw the bodies into the slaughterhouses that we own, and we grind up all the bodies in the sausage and the hamburger. McDonald's is one of our favorite outlets.
You on a radio show openly admitting that y'all kill kids and drain their blood and grind their body parts up and put them in meat and sell it to McDonald's and these other restaurants.
And the people, they eat it for breakfast, they eat it, their children for lunch. And, you know, us Jews, you know, we gotta do what we do. The most important thing to remember between you, Pastor Wickstrom, and me, Rabbi A.B. Finkelstein of New York, that we both have two fathers, and so that's why we look at the world in two different ways. Good job right now. Yes, you've done a pretty good job, but you know there's quite an awakening coming. And my father Yahweh, who isn't Jewish. Of course, your father is talked about by my father in John 8:44, stating that your father was Satan.
Are you guys not hearing the program? Hello? Hello? Are you? I guess you're not able to hear the recording. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I'll do is find another method to play the video. Okay, so for some reason you're not hearing it, and I'm gonna have to find a way to fix that. So that's also with the songs, I guess. Yeah, so folks, really what I was playing was a video. Let me see if I can find it here, regarding the admission, right, that the McDonald's contains human meat, right? And I'm gonna try and find it here on another device, right, so that you can hear it properly, because I was using the same device to have you listen to it. So in the future, I guess I would have to do that differently. So folks, if you have children, you know, you have to really pay attention, because they're saying that the children that was disappearing, they were actually stolen and then used for rituals. And then I'm going to play it after so it can be affirmed, because the FBI supported it, right? When I say supported it, they found evidence. Okay? So, and they use them to be sent to factories that process the meat for the factories, for the restaurants. So that would explain then why it says African American is processed meat. Again, just go and look it up. Look up the number that I said. I'm gonna reiterate that number. It's 869799951. African American in all caps. And because we don't pay attention to how it is written, African American, because it is written as in all capital letters, right? Now, as I've said in the past, when you look at any document that has the name, your name on it, it's not you. It looks like you, but it's attached to your information, but it's not you, again, because of the all caps name. If it's written in all caps, it's a legal person. A difference between the actual living being and the person itself, right? So, or personam, that's what it is. It's not real, right? So let me just find that. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because you have to laugh really, because the energies. If we stay in a state of constantly not knowing or fighting, or the energy of, what's the word? Because in order to move on, we really have to let go and forgive. You know, these things are hard to forgive for many people. But in order for us to liberate ourselves, forgiving is not forgetting, and it's not also making justice prevail. We have to make justice prevail. But in order for us, the so-called victims, we're not going to victimize ourselves. We're not going to do that. We're going to empower ourselves with the knowledge and the truth. When we put the truth out there, it sets us freer. We're freer. We think we're free right now, but we're not. Little by little, it's happening. As you can see, financially, it's going to happen. And I know a lot of people think, oh my God, it's terrible, the banks are crashing. No, it's not a terrible thing. It's showing, it's unveiling the truths, right? And that's what this program was about, is to find the truth so that we can elevate ourselves and evolve into higher beings, meaning that the energy now creates a new world. The understanding or overstanding of who we are, not labeling ourselves, whether it's black, Negro, Moor, whatever, as the soul-filled body being, if that makes sense, right? So once we're in that our Christ consciousness, we have information that we can make proper decisions in our lives moving forward. We're able to create with the ideas and the thoughts. Now that we have clarity and balance and harmony, when we think now, we're not think of being less of ourselves, of being less than, or as whatever the thoughts that they're putting out to us. We're not accepting it now. It's going back at them while we're deflecting it. So now that's why everything is being revealed, right? I just had it, but let me see if I find that. Okay, so there is one here. Let me see what this one says. Okay. Why is it now it's saying I have to affirm certain things, but anyway.
First horse meat, then the mysterious pink slime, now human meat. A shocking discovery has been made in an Oklahoma City McDonald's meat factory and other McDonald's meat factories nationwide. Meat inspectors reportedly found what appeared to be human meat stored in the meat factory freezers of an Oklahoma City meat factory, and human meat already in trucks right outside the factory ready to be shipped to McDonald's restaurants. Health inspectors immediately demanded inspection in various McDonald's meat factories across the country and horrifyingly found human meat in about 90% of the factories inspected thus far. The USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, has seized McDonald's production and shipping and will call for more meat factory inspections and restaurant inspections. The FBI is also investigating the factories. FBI agent Lloyd Harrison told Hustler reporters, "The worst part is that it's not only human meat, it's child meat." The body parts that were found across the U.S. factories were deemed too small to be adult body parts. This is truly horrible. The situation brings up many unanswered questions. How long have they been using human meat? Where did they get the children from? Were they already dead when brought into factories? Investigators and inspectors are currently being deployed for intensive investigations all around the U.S. Here is another clip when earlier McDonald's was caught.
This is the production base of Hu Seafood Company in Shanghai, a member of the American SOI Group and supplier of meat products to major American fast food restaurants throughout China, including KFC, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut. Here are your chicken McNuggets and beef patties using either a Big Mac or a layered beef burger from KFC. But an undercover reporter's discovery may cause the food giants to lose more than a few customers in China.
Beef is past its due date. I never worked at a food processing plant before, so I didn't know better. But now if I went to a KFC or McDonald's restaurant, it wouldn't taste the same.
Here the footage shows workers apparently dumping already made but unused beef patties back onto the production belt along with raw beef. And here, defective chicken nuggets are picked out, but only to be collected and put back onto the production line along with raw chicken. The reporter allegedly obtained proof showing that the violations are systemic rather than just limited to a few employees. Here's what appears to be a company email that was sent this past June asking production workers to use beef that expired in November last year.
The company keeps two different books. One is done on the scene according to what happened. The other is done by special personnel for review or examination.
According to the whistleblower, Who Seafood has been cooking the books so the company could cook whatever it wanted, whenever it wanted. And that's why the violations weren't uncovered until now, despite inspection tours by the companies it supplied to. In the wake of the revelations, the Shanghai Municipal Food and Drug Administration closed operations at Who Seafood Company and seized meat products suspected of being past their expiration date.
I think that's enough. You know, that's enough for us to now be more than just whatever people say we are, whether it's citizens, whatever. It's time, folks. It's time. The energies are bringing forth the revelations, removing the veils. The storm is here. The storm is here, right? So, you know, basically, if we know when we learn something, we come to another level of being, do we sit back and continue? Because along the years, it seems that's what's been happening. And maybe some people were threatened. I don't know. It's possible. We hear of all these stuff, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, everybody who's ever tried to make a difference, being murdered, people disappearing. And, you know, now they're blatantly coming out and tell you. And for this kind of stuff to work, this spell, the media and everything has a part in it, right? Because we listen to the ads, it's the best food, you know, it's tasty and all of that. And then also you have the tell a vision, right? They tell you a certain story and you believe it. Again, it's believing facts. It's beliefs, facts, and reality. So we have to question ourselves. Are we a part of the fraud too? Are we encouraging it? You know, we have to look in that mirror, stand up in front of that mirror, stark naked, and ask the question, who are you? You know, are you a robot? Are you going to accept everything that comes to you? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the realities of all of this? Okay. The other thing is, right, when we believe, right, things that are not real, how mature do you get? Do you mature in that? Do we then say, well, that's what they say, you know, that's what the document says, or that's what they put out? Or do we then investigate for ourselves, right? How do we approach this new era, right? Experience brings us to wisdom, especially if we take action. Because once you take action, you get more experience and you learn what doesn't work or what works, right? And you can see things more clearly, right? So in this time though, with these energies coming, it's for opportunities that has to do with material things. We are at a time now where, because of everything being revealed, now you can access the information. Now you can be your own governor or government, because actually everyone is sovereign on the land. Everyone that came out of a mother, really, because not everyone is human. A lot of beings, as you could see on YouTube and different places, they create in labs, right? They mix different species of that. They remove certain DNA. That's what they were doing when they collect stuff, you know. And we thought that when they showed us the clone of an animal, that it was just an animal. It was just an animal, right? Seeing is believing. That's what we say, right? That, oh, they'll never do that for humans, right? that's the thing that we always say, to just pass the buck and pass it over, right? So everyone, because your nativity, as we say, comes from your mother, right? And your mother's mother, mother's mother's mother, mother's mother's mother. It has nothing to do with a paper document. It has absolutely nothing to do with a paper document. They create paper documents, you know, like, let me just read something that I have here. Okay? The Sescut V Trust, right? It says, convey the beneficial entitlements of the child. That's why I don't like using the word child or kid, because they're all spells to me. As beneficiary into the first Sescu view. I speak French. I don't know why I always have problems with this. V Trust in the form of registry number by registering the name, thereby also creating the corporate person. You hear that? Corporate person. And I'll explain what person is, right? And denying the child any rights to real property. To this point, if you don't know that and you haven't done anything, you're still considered a child, a minor, even though you're a full-grown adult. When you get to the age of so-called, people think it's maturity, but it's the age of majority, meaning that you have the majority stake in the trust as expressed. So if it's an all caps name, you can express and say that is an express trust. It is not me. Are you claiming my property? That's how you ask, especially in a judge, in the courts, right? They may still do their piracy and tyranny acts. They're still going to do it, because a pirate is a pirate is a pirate. It doesn't change until maybe death do them path, right? Because they made blood oaths. They made oaths to do this thing. It's an oath among thieves, kind of. Yeah, it is. It's a promise among the thieves. So they're not going to rot. They're not going to go and tell anything, because they're protecting each other, you know? They're not going to snitch. They're not going to say anything. So if one goes down, they all go down. Hence the Armageddon. All right? I think last week I mentioned what Armageddon means, right? Oh my God. This is such an exciting type. Let me just continue that. Number 2, claim the baby as chattel to the estate. The slave baby contract is then created by honoring the ancient tradition of either having the ink impression of the baby's feet. That's the soul, right? They took the baby's soul onto the live birth record, or a drop of its blood, as well as tricking the parents to signing the baby away through the deceitful legal meanings on the live birth record, which is a promissory note. It's a promise to pay people that certificate. All right, it's a promise converted into a slave bond, right? That note is it's converted in a slave bond, sold to the private reserve bank of the estate, and then conveyed into the second and separate Setzkeker V Trust for the child, right? Owned by the bank. When the promissory note reaches maturity, the bank is unable to seize the slave child. So it says maturity here, but it's really majority. But they still do it, don't they? Don't they still ask you for all kinds of IDs so that you could verify that the all caps is really you? But you don't know to say that that's your property, or to write that, these are all my property, and put the bank in a position of fiduciary and demand that, they do not touch your estate, right? So, this is all going to come out. So I'm just going to say everything. This is the time for it. And my ancestors really are guiding me right now, right? So when the promissory note reaches maturity, right? And the bank is unable to seize the slave child, a maritime lien is, they do a lien, is I awfully issued to salvage the lost property and is monetized as currency issued in series against the Setzkeker Trust. So that's why I said there's no money. It's really your signature. When you sign any contracts, that becomes the energy from you that creates these bonds and then creates the currency. And remember, I made a note earlier that came to me. It's the US, the currency really, no matter what currency you have, it is all floating on the same waters. The Holy See, that's where it started. Who started these birth certificate bonds, right? And Dead Sea, right now they're dead. That's what's happening. You're seeing in real time right now. It's happened since 2008, but you're seeing it now. And then it will be unplugged soon. I wrote this earlier this week. And now it's being unplugged, right? The swamp is being drained, as Trump said. It's being unplugged, right? The Aquarius Pluto energy, that water, that air, that everything is happening right now in these energies, right? So that's why it's important to understand the astrology and numbers, because everything is for a purpose. Everything has meaning, right? The third one is, you don't really have to say anymore, because you really get the idea. Because I've mentioned about since 1933, right? And that's why Kennedy was assassinated and all the other presidents were assassinated. These groups took over the governments and created the United States Corporation. So I wanted to explain the United States. There's actually three of them. There's the United States Corporation with all caps. There's the United States upper and lowercase, which is all the states of the land, all. Okay, and I know people were talking about Pan-African and all of that, but actually the United States of America, really all the states' treasury it's connected, because all of the resources are banked through is used through the treasury, because we can't really use, although most of the gold and all of that was stolen, and most of it was found in the so-called Queen's coffers, but she had to release that. They had to release all that. They're in museums, they're all over the place. So what people were doing was really collecting them and forcing us to use the Federal Reserve notes, which was not backed by anything but our energies, our slave energy, right? So if you get that understanding or understanding or comprehension, then we can better go forward and know what we're doing within this new era. It's going to help you to make decisions. It's going to help you to understand or go and find out how to, if you're going to go in contracts, what to write, what to say, how to retract your, or what you say, what's the term used? Reverse the your signatures, or reverse everything that was done in deception, because a valid contract cannot be valid. Any contract cannot be valid if there's not full disclosure and if both parties are not in agreement. So it's unilateral, and that means it's not a valid contract. It's already void. And can you make a contract with a child? Really? That's the question. Can you do a contract with a child? So that's how everything is in fraud. That's how the governments are committing fraud. Someone asked me to prove it, and if this is not proof enough, well, I don't know what will be. I don't know how else to explain that the whole system is a fraud, including the courts. There hasn't been a real judge since 1776, I believe. A magistrate is not a judge. Anyone representing the so-called queen has no authority on the land, because all of that is in fraud. Because that crown is an incorporation as well under the Vatican See or the Holy See or whatever. It's all been in an incorporation, and it's what you call a juris person. It's not a living person, but it's a legal jurisdictional or legal person. There's a big difference. Just like the banks, they're all legal persons. When they try to create a law case against someone or try to get money from them, because remember they're claiming the entity that is the all caps person, right, which is the estate, so that they can attach it to their banking system. So whenever they do that, it's really not you. It's not you. The person who has debt is the legal person. The living person has abundance, because you are a divine natural being having your experience that everything is provided for you. If the birds and every animal doesn't go through this system, why should you? If even the same Bible a lot of you preach out of says that man has dominion over, you could finish it, but we keep having these belief system that tricks us into maintaining the status quo and continuing to make blunders and errors just to go and march so that it doesn't do anything again, because you're marching as a civil person or whatever, a person. So that's why I say protest does not work. If you do not have knowledge of self, it is worthless to do all those things. It is absolutely worthless. If you don't understand that there are trust and what trust is, and trust laws or whatever, or divine laws, right? It says trust in God. What is God? The inner kingdom, right? You seeing who you are and how you're connected to the universe, and how you have sovereign rights, divine blood rights, birth rights, those rights, not legal rights, not civil rights. Now we're coming up to a break, and in the break I'm going to try and fix that issue with what I have to present and prepare it for that. So let's go to a break, and we'll be right back.